Hello everyone, welcome back to online lecture series on engineering thermodynamics. We are continuing our topic of entropy. So let's begin. Before starting our new topic, we will quickly revisit our previous topics that we have done in our last lecture. In our last lecture, we began with entropy principle, that entropy of an isolated system can never decrease, it always increases, or it can remain constant when the process is reversible. Then there are few applications of entropy principle. First is transfer of heat through a finite temperature difference, in which we are having two reservoirs at different temperatures and they are connected with a rod. Here, if we see, the total entropy change is given by this formula, that is this formula, that delta S is equal to Q into T1 minus T2 divided by T1 T2. Then we studied about mixing of two fluids. Third application was maximum work that can be obtained from two finite bodies at temperature T1 and T2. So here we are having two bodies and we are running a heat engine in between them. So here we have obtained the minimum value of temperature which provides us a maximum work output, that is given by this formula, Wmax is equal to Cp square root of T1 minus square root of T2 whole square. Fourth application is maximum work obtainable from a finite body and TER. TER means thermal energy reservoir. So here also we applied the same process and we obtained the value of Wmax. I gave you a few topics for self-study and I hope you have done this by yourself now. Next theory was entropy change during a thermodynamic process. So here these are very basic things. We started with first law of thermodynamics and we obtained the value of delta S, and there are few other forms that we also obtained. And there are other few self-study topics that I gave you. These are total 6 topics and I hope you have already done this. So now let's begin with our new topic for today, that is entropy transfer with heat flow. So here first of all we will focus on this system. Here this is the system and the outer circle, outer layer is a surrounding. Okay, so the surrounding is at T0 temperature, and as you can see here, at this location the heat is transferring from system to surrounding with a quantity Q. Okay, so here the formula for delta S is this, that is ds is equal to d cut q reversible upon T. So when the heat is added to the system, dq is considered to be positive. So when heat is added to the system, d cut q is positive, and the entropy of the system increases. That is very true based on this formula, that if d cut q reversible is positive, then there will be an increase in entropy. Now when the heat is removed from the system, d cut q is negative and the entropy of the system decreases. That is quite obvious from this. So whenever heat is added, there will be an increase of entropy, and whenever there is a heat is removed, there is a decrease of entropy. Now as you know that when the heat is transferred to the system of a fixed mass, increases the internal energy of the system. Why? Because suppose we are having this as a system and a small system like this, and whenever we provide heat, that is Q, then the internal energy of this system increases, as a result of which the molecules of gas move with higher kinetic energy and they collide more frequently. So the disorder of the system increases. So what they are trying to say, that whenever we are increasing, we are providing heat to a system, the internal energy of the system increases, because as you know, U is equal to mc delta T. So as we are providing heat, there will be an increase of temperature as well as increase of internal energy, and whenever we increase the internal energy, the kinetic energy at molecular level also increases. So whenever the molecules have higher kinetic energy, they will be colliding more with each other, so that the disorder or the randomness of the system increases. So this will ultimately increase the term entropy, because entropy is degree of disorder or degree of randomness. So what we are trying to understand based on this, that whenever we provide heat to a system, ultimately it will increase the value of entropy. So because of this reason, heat is regarded as disorganized or disordered energy transfer which increases the molecular chaos. So heat is considered to be disordered energy. Now if heat Q flows reversibly from the system to the surrounding at temperature T0, so if Q flows reversibly from the system to the surrounding at T0, so exactly now we are discussing this figure. So the entropy increase of the surrounding. Why there is an entropy increase? Because heat is being provided to the surrounding. So entropy increase is given by the standard formula, that is delta S surrounding is given by Q upon T0. Now the entropy of the system is reduced. Why it is reduced? Because the system is rejecting heat from itself. So delta S system is minus Q upon T0. So here the temperature of boundary where the heat transfer occurs is at constant temperature T0, as you have seen in our previous figure. So it may be said that system has lost entropy to the surrounding, because there is a decrease in entropy of the system and increase of entropy of surrounding. Alternatively, one may state that the surrounding have gained entropy from the system. So entropy transfer. So there is an entropy transfer from the system to the surrounding along with the heat flow. So whenever there is a flow of heat, there is a transfer of entropy from one system to another system, or from system to a surrounding. So now we will be dealing with work transfer. Till now we have discussed that there is a transfer of heat from system to surrounding. On other hand, actually what happens here, that there is no entropy transfer associated with the work. This is very important thing. There is no entropy transfer associated with the work. Now if we focus on this figure, the system delivers work to flywheel, that is over here. This system is delivering work to the flywheel, okay, where the energy is being stored in fully recoverable form. So flywheel is the device where it can store its energy and we can extract it whenever we require. So here in flywheel the energy is stored in fully recoverable form. The flywheel molecules are simply put into rotation about the axis in perfectly organized manner. So to repeat this part, the flywheel molecules are, as this is rotating part, flywheel molecules are simply put into a rotation around the axis in perfectly organized manner, okay, and there is no dissipation, hence there is no increase of entropy, no entropy increase of flywheel. Now at the same moment, if you consider the previous example where the temperature, where heat is provided and the molecules have greater kinetic energy and collision, and thus randomness or disorder increases. However, in case of flywheel, if you see, they are rotating in a much organized manner and there is no dissipation, so there is no increase of entropy in flywheel. Now this is only one example that we took. The same can also be said about a work transfer in compression of a spring or in the raising of weight by a certain height. These are classical examples of work transfer, and there is no entropy transfer along with the work. Now suppose consider this example, that if the work is dissipated adiabatically, that is without transferring heat, into an internal energy increase of the system. Again, if the work is dissipated adiabatically into internal energy increase of the system, there is an entropy increase in the system, but there is as such no entropy transfer that is happening, okay. So as here what is happening, that we are going from W is being converted into U. Okay, so this will increase the entropy of system, but there is no transfer of entropy into it. Okay, now the next topic is entropy generation in a closed system. Okay, let's begin. So this is a new topic in which we will be observing entropy generation in a closed system. Okay, now there are two ways in which entropy of a closed system can increase. Okay, so first way is by heat interaction, in which there is an entropy transfer, the same thing we have discussed in our previous topic, that is application of Q, that is heat interaction will have transfer of entropy. Now second is by internal irreversibilities or dissipative effects. So the second way there can be an entropy transfer is by internal irreversibilities or dissipative effects, in which the work is dissipated into internal energy increase. Okay, this is the second way in which the work is dissipated in internal energy increase. We have discussed the same point at the uh, last statement of this previous theory, that is this. This is the second way, that the work is dissipated adiabatically into internal energy increase of the system. There is an entropy increase. Okay. Now let us say that here this is inexact differential d cut q. Okay, if d cut q is the infinitesimal amount of heat transferred to the system through boundary at temperature T, the same as that of surrounding, the entropy increase ds of the system can be expressed as this formula. That is ds is equal to des plus dis. Now what is the meaning of this? Here if you see, first is, let me write down the nomenclature here. des is equal to entropy increase due to external heat interaction. Okay, and DIS is entropy increase due to the internal irreversibilities. Okay, so this is the nomenclature and it is indicating these 2 points only, 1 and 2, that is total entropy increase is equal to the entropy increase due to external heat interaction plus entropy increase due to internal irreversibilities. Now here, as the first one is due to the heat interaction part, that is this one, we can simply put DES is equal to D cut Q upon T, that is our standard formula. Okay, here I have written the same thing, so we can erase this part. So as you can see, D is entropy increase due to external heat interaction and DIS is entropy increase due to internal reversibilities. Now, based on this formula, as you can see, here, based on this formula, we can write down that ds, that is the left hand side part, is always greater than this first term, that is d cut q upon t. That is very basic thing. So we can say that dis, that is the entropy increase due to internal irreversibilities, is either 0 or it is greater than 0. So what is the meaning of this? That this term, that is the entropy increase by internal irreversibilities, is always present, or to be minimal it will remain constant. So here the entropy increase due to internal irreversibilities is called as entropy production or entropy generation SGN. Okay, S generation. So here it may happen that let us consider a particular process here in which there is an expansion of a hot fluid in a turbine. Okay, so the meaning of expansion here is that the hot fluid will be losing its energy, or it will be transferring the heat to the surroundings of turbine. So here there is an entropy decrease of system due to heat loss to the surrounding. We have already discussed this part in our previous theory also, that there will be a decrease of entropy of system due to heat loss to the surrounding with quantity of this, that is minus of integration d cut q upon t. And this entropy decrease that is happening in the system is equal to the entropy increase of the system due to internal irreversibilities such as friction. So here, and it is given by this formula. In which case the entropy of system before and after the process will remain same, that is the integration of total ds is 0. So I will write down this part again. So what is happening here, that let us we are denoting it as S. So entropy decrease of system due to heat loss to surrounding is equal to entropy increase of system due to internal irreversibilities. Okay, so if you recall why I have repeated the same thing again over here, because suppose we have total ds which is equal to des, that is due to the heat interaction or external heat transfer, plus dis. So if you recall this formula that we studied in our previous slide, that whatever decrease we are observing due to this heat loss to the surrounding is equal to the increase of entropy due to the internal irreversibilities such as friction. So the overall effect comes to be 0. So that's why in this case the entropy of system before and after the process will remain same, that is the integration of ds is 0. So you can pause this and write down this if you want, because I am erasing this part. Okay, So now therefore an isentropic process, in such case, if we have, as we have seen this example, that even though there is a heat loss to the surrounding, still delta S is remaining 0. So the meaning is that the isentropic process need not to be adiabatic or reversible. Okay. But if the isentropic process is reversible, it must be adiabatic, because here if you see the process which is happening over here, the things that has been written over in this green box, in which at the end we are getting that delta S is 0. So it is an isentropic process, and as there is an heat transfer, it need not to be adiabatic or reversible. However, if you see this example, then the reverse of this is not possible because of irreversibilities. By its nature itself, this cannot be reversed. So even though we are having delta S is equal to 0, because of the overall effects, this cannot be reversed. Okay, so that's why isentropic process need not to be adiabatic or reversible. Now if you see that isentropic process is reversible, then it must be adiabatic, because the reverse has to happen. That's why this is not the example of this second statement. So this is the reverse thing that is happening, that if isentropic process is reversible, then it must be adiabatic, that is, there should not be any kind of external heat interactions. Now the next part is an adiabatic process need not to be isentropic, since the entropy can also increase due to friction without heat interaction. But if the process is adiabatic and reversible, it must be an isentropic process. So these are very important parts. The statements which are written over here are very important. And you should be very careful with this. Okay. Now we will quickly go to this mathematical part of this theory, where for an infinitesimal reversible process by a closed system, we can write down this, that is our first law of thermodynamics, that is d cut qr is equal to dur plus pdv, that is directly q is equal to delta u plus w. Now if the process is irreversible, then we can write down this formula, only the subscript changes. So here we have written this formula, first law of thermodynamics, for a reversible process, and similarly we can write down the same thing for irreversible process. Now since U is property, the change of internal energy will remain same for reversible and irreversible process. Why? Because if you recall, we were comparing two processes. Let us say that this is a normal process where we are going from 1 to 2. Let us say 1 is reversible one, and the second process is let us say this is the second process which is irreversible. So even though both processes are having different paths, their end states are same. That's why their internal energy will remain same, because internal energy is property of system. Okay, let me write down the arrows to avoid any form of confusion. Okay, now based on our simple mathematics, we are combining these three equations, we can write down this. And while dividing with t, if we divide entire equation with t, we can write down this. See, this is very simple mathematics that we have done, and you should be able to do this by yourself. Okay. Now the difference P dV minus dW, that is over here. We are currently focusing on this part. Okay, let me see if we can copy this equation. I think we don't have enough space, so let me try it. Okay, we will be fine with this. So here this will be helpful for us to understand this part, that this part, this term here over here, that is P dV minus d cut W. Here kindly consider this as d cut Q. This difference indicates the work that is lost due to the irreversibility part, and it is called as lost work, that is d cut of LW. And whenever this term approaches to 0, as the process approaches the reversibility as a limit. So if you see, if this term becomes 0, then the reversible entropy transfer will be equal to irreversible entropy transfer, that is, this part will also become reversible one. So whenever there is an irreversibility is present, such kind of additional term is always present, that is known as lost work part. Okay. Now again we are repeating this, ds is equal to des plus dis. Thus the entropy of a closed system increases due to heat addition, that is first part, plus that is and internal dissipation. Now we will focus on this figure. Here if we see in this figure, this is the system and outside is surrounding, and both are separated with this boundary. Okay, and we are currently focusing on this part of boundary where heat interaction is happening. The system is going from state 1 to state 2. There is an heat addition from the surrounding to the system, that is d cut Q is the heat transfer which is happening, and there is a work transfer from the system to the surrounding with the quantity of d cut Q. The boundary temperature is T, and the entropy transfer which is happening is d cut Q upon T, that is entropy transfer. Okay. So here, if any process is executed by the system, energy is always conserved as per the first law of thermodynamics. energy is always conserved in whenever a system is going from state 1 to state 2. However, as per the second law, the entropy is produced internally. Okay, for any process between equilibrium states 1 and 2, the first law that we can write down is in this way. So if you recall, our standard formula was like this: Q is equal to delta E plus W. So we have written the same equation in integral form over here. So this is the energy transfer, and here we are getting this to be energy change. Okay, now here the same formula can also be written in our very basic way, that is exactly same representation of first law of thermodynamics. By second law, we can say that H2 minus S1 is always greater than or equal to integration 1 to 2 d cut Q upon T. That is, this is the external heat interaction, and whatever greater than part or equal to part is present is due to the internal irreversibilities that are occurring during a process. So here it is only transfer of energy as a heat which is accompanied by entropy transfer, both of which occur at the boundary where temperature is T. Okay, so whenever there is a transfer of energy as a heat, there is always a entropy, there is always an entropy transfer, and both of which are occurring at boundary where surface temperature is T. Now the work interaction is not accompanied by entropy transfer. However, entropy change of the system, that is S2 minus S1, exits the entropy transfer. So if you see, let me write down over here, then I will be deleting this, that S2 minus S1, if you recall our formula from previous slide, this was always greater than or equal to, it's like 1 to 2 integration 1 to 2 d cut Q divided by T. Okay, so if we separate the inequality sign, then S2 minus S1 is equal to integration 1 to 2 d cut Q upon T plus something, let us say x, and this x will always be greater than or equal to 0 to justify this greater than or equal to sign. That is the difference which is happening. So let me take that integration part on the left hand side, that is S2 minus S1 minus of integration 1 to 2 d cut Q upon T equal to x, and this x, as you can see in this formula, is nothing but S generation. Okay, so here the first part is entropy change H2 minus S1, second is entropy transfer, and third is entropy production or entropy generation. And S generation is always greater than or equal to 0, as based on this inequality sign which was converted into equal to sign while putting this x. So x is always greater than or equal to 0, that is S generation is always greater than or equal to 0. So the second law states that in general the thermodynamic process is accompanied by entropy generation. Now we will take this small example here. Process 1 to 2 which does not generate any entropy, that is S generation is 0 because it is a reversible process. Now there are two paths that we have taken, path A and path B. Both are going from state 2 to state 1 with some entropy generation. Okay, so the entropy generation also depends on the path of the system which it follows. So S generation is thus there is a mistake over here. Let me correct, this is not a thermodynamic property. So S generation is thus not a thermodynamic property, and ds, so this will be d cut S generation will be an inexact differential, although S2 minus S1 depends only on the end state because entropy is property of the system. So you need to remember this, that entropy is a property of system but entropy generation is not a property of system. So we can write down this based on this formula only, that ds generation is nothing but d cut S generation is equal to ds minus d cut q upon t. The amount of entropy generation quantifies the intrinsic irreversibility of the system. Suppose if path A causes more entropy generation than path B, that is S generation A is greater than S generation B, then we can say that path A is more irreversible than the path B, and path A involves more lost work than the path B. Now let us say that if entropy generation occurs at several locations on the boundary of the system, the entropy transfer term can be expressed as a sum in this way, that S2 minus S1 is equal to sigma. We have simply added sigma because if there are several locations where a heat transfer is occurring, so it can be written in this way, where Qj upon Tj is the amount of entropy transferred through portion of boundary at temperature Tj. Now if we need to write down this on the time rate basis, we can write down an entropy balance in this way, that is another form of this. And whenever you see a dot, when you observe a dot on above any term, then it is a time rate basis. Okay, so it is quite straightforward. Now ds upon dt, ds upon d tau is time rate of change of entropy of the system Q. Maybe this portion may not be visible to you, so I am speaking it and you can write down this. Q dot j upon Tj is the rate of entropy transfer through portion of boundary whose instantaneous temperature is Tj, and S generation dot, here dot is present, S generation dot is the rate of entropy generation due to irreversibilities within the system. So now we will begin our next topic and last topic of today's lecture, that is entropy generation in an open system. So meanwhile you can watch this figure. So now let's begin. Here now we are discussing about open system in which there is an interaction of mass. So as you can see, there are several openings from where mass can enter and mass can exit. There is also a shaft work transfer present, that is given by d dot sh. There is a control surface over here, mass is entering from here and mass is leaving from here, that is m dot I and m dot E. This is the control volume that we will be focusing. This is the surface temperature T, and this is the portion, this is the area where we are currently focusing. There is a heat transfer Q dot which is happening over here, and entropy transfer rate is given by Q dot upon T, and surface temperature is T right now. So let's begin. In an open system, there is a transfer of three quantities: mass, energy, and entropy. Okay, when we were studying fundamentals of thermodynamics, we were only saying that there is only transfer of two quantities, mass and energy, but the third term is also present, that is, there is a transfer of entropy. Now the control surface can have one or more opening for mass transfer, as you can see in this figure. It is rigid, and there is a shaft work transfer across it. So based on the continuity equation, we can write down this, that is sigma m, this is I, okay, this is I, not 1, sigma mi minus sigma me is equal to del m over del tau. So this is net mass transfer rate, and this is rate of accumulation of mass in control volume. So let me correct this. Here it is I. Okay, now the energy equation is given by this formula. As we have already studied this during our first law of thermodynamics, I am not going to repeat everything again. Here also it is mi. Okay, so here this is only a first law of thermodynamics, so we are not going to discuss on this right now. Now the important is second law inequality, or the entropy principle, gives us that here this portion, that is, this was again, this is related to the entropy transfer due to mass. This is the new term which is present right now, and this was not part of our previous theory because it was a closed system, there was no mass transfer, though this is being added over here. And plus Q dot upon T, which is entering, is always less than or equal to del S upon del tau. So if you recall, if we need to write down this, then this del S upon del tau was always greater than or equal to Q dot upon T plus this sigma part. So I am simply reversing the equation so that this will be a easier version for you to understand. Okay, so first part is net entropy transfer, and here there is a rate of increase of entropy across this CV. Now here Q dot represents the rate of heat transfer at a location of a boundary where instantaneous temperature is T. So this ratio, that is Q dot accounts Q dot upon T accounts for entropy transfer along the heat. So this proportion is along the entropy transfer due to heat. The terms m dot I SI and m dot E SI account respectively for rate of entropy transfer in and out of the CV accompanying mass flow. Okay, so the rate of entropy increase of control volume exits or equal to the net rate of entropy transfer through it, and this difference is the entropy generated within the control volume due to the irreversibility. So here this will be the total amount. So whenever we remove the inequality sign, there will be an addition of term, that is entropy generation. Okay, now here the rate of entropy generation is given by this formula. So let me see if we can copy this. So if you see, this is our previous equation, and here this is whatever the greater than term is over present over here, greater than term, less than or equal to term. So whatever difference is there will be exactly equal to the S dot generation. Okay, this is simple mathematics, that whatever this term, suppose we put here equal to sign and we write down delta S upon del tau plus S dot generation, then you can simply obtain the value of S generation. Okay, sorry, it should not be here. We can erase this part. We can hold this, we can convert this inequality with equality by putting writing down all these terms plus S dot generation. Let me again erase this. So S generation will be put over here, and then we can write down this. Okay, by second law we can say that S dot generation is always greater than or equal to 0, and if the process is reversible, then S dot generation is 0. For irreversible, it is greater than 0, and magnitude of S generation quantifies the irreversibility of the process. The same thing that we have studied in our previous theory. If system A and B operate so that S generation A is greater than S generation B, both in the rate form, then it can be said that the system A operates more irreversibly than the system B. The unit of S generation is given by watt per Kelvin. As if you see this term, then we can directly say it is the term, unit for S generation is equal to unit of Q dot upon T, which is watt upon Kelvin. At steady state, we can say that sigma Mi is equal to sigma Me in the rate form. The equation becomes 0 because dE upon d tau will be 0 over here. Here there is a plus sign we need to add. Plus sign. If you see why we have put 0 over here, because at the steady state this term del E upon del tau will be 0, That's why here we have put 0 and the remaining terms are as it is. Now entropy generation portion, that is, if you see this equation, the entropy generation equation, here del S upon del tau will be 0. That's why this term becomes 0 and the remaining terms will be as it is. Okay, and here suppose instead of sigma, that is why we were having sigma, because there were more than one inlet and outlet. Instead of that, for one inlet and one exit control volumes, the entropy equation can be written in this way, that 0 here these two terms are equal, and instead of sigma we can write down m dot s2 minus s1, and S generation will be as it is with a dot above because of the rate form. The dot is always present here. So S2 minus S1 can be written in this way also. This is simple mathematics, you can do it by yourself. So this is the end of today's lecture. So this is the end of today's lecture as well as end of this chapter entropy. In our next lecture we will begin with a new chapter, that is exergy. Thank you for watching this video.